All right, as you guys know, the New York Yankees season has come to a screeching, halting, upsetting end. But again, folks, I am not going to go ahead and dwindle on what happened. I am going to look forward as hard as it is to do. This is what I do, and this is why you guys continue to watch my videos and things like that, because I like to give ideas, I like to give opinions, and I also break news to you all on moves the Yankees could make or rumors about what they're looking to do. This is not that. This is pure based off opinion, almost immediate reaction after what I think the Yankees can do to definitely improve their ball club for 2020 compared to what they had in 2019, which was a very good team. Didn't go all the way for, I think, some real obvious reasons why and concerns that the Yankees had that they need to improve on. I think it's right there for them. So what I want to do here is talk about a couple of moves, give some players, some trade ideas, some free agent signings, things like that, to kind of get the ball rolling on the offseason. Because again, folks, I don't want to take a break. I don't want to break. I want to keep talking to you all. I want to keep the conversations going. And I want to make the offseason as fun as possible and have, back and forth with you all, maybe some debate, and pass ideas around. Again, this is solely based off of me. This is no source information right now. That will come after the World Series when I get my notes on what the team is planning on doing, what ideas they have, and I will go from there. So first, let's jump right into it. Free agents on the Yankees. I might miss some of these guys. Again, guys, you guys know me. I don't pre-plan this crap. This is me coming at you all and just talking like a normal human. I don't have anything scripted. I just go. The obvious ones. Does Aroldis Chapman opt out? If he doesn't, you keep him, you leave him there. If he opts out, you let him walk. Here's why. I think the Yankees, for the free agents they have leaving, I think they have guys that could really fill that role. Zach Britton can definitely fill the closing role for the New York Yankees. Again, any concern that fans had about Britton in big games, I think kind of got washed away when it came to the Astros, the Twins. He looked excellent. He looked great. He looked like their best relief pitcher by far, if you ask me. He looked really solid. So for me, I wouldn't be too concerned about, oh my God, we got to throw more money at Aroldis Chapman. I see that as saving money, putting it to another area. So for me, if Chapman stays, he stays, good, fine. If he walks, let him go. And there's already been the rumors that he would walk. I was told mid-season that he would walk. I think Ken Rosenthal or Busta Olney also put it out there that he plans on opting out with the hopes that the Yankees bring him back. But I think if he opts out, you let him go. He's 32 years old. You let him go, and you move on from there. You already got a replacement. Looking at the bullpen again, there's a move down the line that I think the Yankees can make when it comes to the pen. But even looking at it on a whole, you got guys with great potential. You got Ben Heller, who is really good, folks, who could be really, really good. John Loaiza, I think if you let him just keep that role, you let him run with it. And I think he could be very good. You got your regulars. You got your Canely. You got Green. You got Betances, who I think you do bring back. I'll get to him next. And you got Ottavino back. You got Canely. So the Yankees got moves. And again, they got guys in AAA who could jump in there. You got guys in AA. Nick Nelson's a name that comes to mind. Trevor Stephen is a name that comes to mind. Guys that could potentially be traded also. Luis Medina. You got some other guy. I'm sorry, not Luis Medina. Garcia is a guy who could potentially impact the bullpen. But the Yankees have a lot of those guys. Tyler Lyons, I think, looked good. I think he's been a strong lefty in the past. I think you give him a shot. So they have guys there, and I think they can have guys in the minor leagues who could fill that role. If guys aren't working, I think somebody would work. And again, there's always the minor league deals that you can make. Do you possibly bring back a Rosenthal to try to reinvent himself and get back on track? His control was terrible in AAA. And that's another guy the Yankees could bring back on a minor league deal to potentially get, back to where he was. So I don't think the bullpen should be a major concern, especially not an area to spend money on. Getting to Dellin Betances. A team may look to offer a pretty strong deal to Betances that the Yankees may not be willing to offer. And the reason I think that's the case is because he just had the Achilles injury that he's not going to require surgery on. It's a minor tear to the Achilles, meaning it will heal with time. So I do think you could see a team say, look, if we have a chance to get our hands on Dellin Betances, give him a pretty good multi-year deal, maybe a 2 or 3 year deal, see if he takes it. If I'm the Yankees, I'm offering possibly a 1 or 2 year deal, tops. I don't want to go crazy with them, but I will try as hard as I could to get Dellin Betances back in the fold for another year or two. Again, maybe a team blows the Yankees out the water and doesn't make it competitive for them, but I don't go too crazy for Betances, as I feel like the bullpen is still an area where the Yankees will still have a lot of options to go to. Starting pitching, I don't think I'm missing anybody. I'll get to trades in the future, but let me talk more about the free agents again. The next big one that comes to mind, Didi Gregorius. Didi Gregorius, I let him walk. As I said in my video, the morning after video, you could possibly see the Yankees saying, well, DJ LeMahieu could be the first baseman, so we can bring Didi back and have that same type of infield that we had in the playoffs in the regular season for 2020. But I disagree with that move. I don't think that's the move you make. I think there's some better options out there. I think there could possibly be cheaper options out there. And I think that's potentially the route you take with a Didi Gregorius. I don't want to give Didi 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, or even the $20 million that he is rumored to want. I don't want to go that route on a Didi Gregorius. That's not the route I'm looking to take. Again, he does fit the idea of the Yankees I want to go after, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I think the Yankees can do something different when it comes to Didi Gregorius. They got the infield intact. You know, you got Gleyber Torres. You got DJ LeMahieu, who they should extend for another year or two. You got Voit. The list goes. You got Estrada. You got Wade. You got Urshela. You got Andujar. So the Yankees have a lot of guys there, right? Next free agent. Bum, 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 bum. Who am I missing? Let's see. Edwin Encarnacion. $20 million option, a $5 million buyout. I think it's pretty obvious here. You buy Edwin out and let him go. Brett Gardner. I like Gardy. You know, I don't get upset by Brett Gardner because, again, this year he got used more and he did terrific. You know, juice ball or not, however you want to see it, he still performed well. Gardner's a guy I bring back on a one-year deal. I look to possibly get a $7-8 million deal now. With the year he had, he might command more. He might command 10, 11, or 12. But I still, tried to bring Brett Gardner back in the fold. I know a lot of Yankee fans say, well, you got Tauchman. You could possibly bring Maben back. I go with Gardner because, again, he is the leadership role. I don't take that lightly, me personally. I don't want to give him a ton of money, but I would look to try to get Gardner back for an additional year. Cameron Maben. Love Maben. You guys know I love Maben. I talked about him a lot. I think he brought an extra jolt to this club. But again, he's a free agent. If he accepted a minor league deal, which I don't think he should, I would bring him back. But I don't see Maben being a guy you bring back. I think a team will end up giving him a one-year deal to possibly start the way he played with the Yankees or, be a fourth outfielder type. But again, at the deadline, maybe Maben's name comes up for the Yankees. You never know. They're already familiar with him. He played well, and you go from there. But I don't put the money towards Cameron Maben right now. The next one, this might surprise some people. Austin Romine. I do not bring Austin Romine back. Let me tell you why. That's going to jump into my first trade. I do not bring Austin Romine back because of one big issue. Gary Sanchez. I think the New York Yankees, as I said, if you guys remember back in the day with Greg Bird, you can't just let this guy get a position. You can't just give him a position anymore. You got to have somebody behind him that could really be challenging him and really compete with him. So that leads you to my first trade. This is the reason why I do not bring Austin Romine back, because I do think there is a really big difference. And folks have said for a while, well, Austin Romine at least puts the ball in play. But the level of difference and potential is so damn big that you don't just want to say, let me leave him in it because Sanchez might pop a homer. Romine, hopefully he does something. And that's not a knock on Austin Romine. I just think the potential of Gary Sanchez is so much greater than what Romine can do that it hurts. My first trade scenario. Go try and get, this is a try because you don't know if they will give him, James McCann from the White Sox. Here's why. James McCann can hit and he can field pretty well. So he's not a guy in a situation like in the postseason that we just went through with Sanchez struggling. You don't handcuff Aaron Boone and say, damn, well, I can't put my backup in because, Sanchez is so much better. So his potential is there. A guy like a McCann who can hit, who can catch pretty well, you say, hey, if you're not going to do it, this guy can. And if he can push a guy like Gary Sanchez, I think that's what Gary needs. Gary knows nobody's taking his spot. Gary knows he has the time to develop. Gary knows he has nobody pushing him saying, Yankees, you're not moving me. And on top of it, for all my fans who think Gary Sanchez should be traded, not now. I think that time has passed. I think if you did trade him, you had to get a guy like a Real Muto, and nothing's out there now. The catching position in Major League Baseball is so damn weak right now that you don't have anybody you can go get. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really work the way it would have worked. There's no real move out there that makes a ton of sense for the Yankees to change Sanchez or make him a full-time DH or trade him for a starting pitcher. I don't see it, and I don't like any of those moves. There's nothing really out there for me. So I do think the Yankees could entice the White Sox with their young crop of pitching, with young hitters, Thairo Estrada, players of that name, maybe a relief pitcher. I don't know if they would have interest in a Green, a Holder, Abreu. Do they want to add another, pretty good young prospect to their core? Is it worth it for them to trade a McCann? But I do look at that type of trade because I think you do need somebody behind Gary Sanchez at this point that can really make a difference. So from there, let's continue on with the trades, and then I'll get to the free agent, which you guys already know who that free agent's going to be. We know Garrett Cole, but I'll get to all that stuff here shortly. Again, remember, this is no source stuff from me. This is just predictions and ideas and opinions at the end of the season. So here's another one for you. I revisit a trade, folks. The Yankees at the deadline, I was all over this. Peter Gammons and a few other reported the same things after I put the information out there, that the Yankees and the Arizona Diamondbacks, who make a lot of trades together, were back at it again at the deadline, trying to make a deal for possibly Robbie Ray and relief pitcher Archie Bradley. I revisit this deal, and I'm going to break it down for you in a little while. This is not my only starting pitcher move I make, so again, year after year after year, you guys hear me talk about two starting pitchers for the New York Yankees. I'm going to break it down to you on the two starters I go after. This is obviously one, and I'll tell you why. Robbie Ray is a guy I continue to try to get. Now, Robbie Ray has all the possibilities to be great or be really bad for the Yankees, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Let me tell you why. The Yankees have a surplus of players who are no longer going to have a spot on this team, and I think you got to start moving these guys at some point because you can't keep stashing them away in AAA or trying to find spots for them that just doesn't make sense, or taking away from other guys who should have that spot. So Robbie Ray and Archie Bradley make sense. Let me tell you why. One, if you go out and sign a Cole, a Strasburg, whatever it is to top your rotation, the bottom of your rotation is going to probably be either Romine or Montgomery. Now, I'll get to Romine here at one point, but the fifth starter spot, I would like Montgomery to possibly start the year in AAA and develop more and have somebody else there because I want the backup to be available. If you just go with a Montgomery and a Romine, you're kind of limiting, again, your choices. Or if you then trade Romine or trade a Montgomery, you don't have much else in AAA that's immediately ready besides rushing somebody, unless you sign somebody to a minor league deal. But I like the idea of Bradley again because he's dominating at the bullpen. We saw him at Yankee Stadium. I remember a lot of you guys saw him pitch. I was like, damn, I know why you want this guy here. Well, it wasn't necessarily just want. It was actual interest from the Yankees. They make a lot of deals with Arizona, and it could make a ton of sense again for the Yankees to revisit that. Does a Luke Voit and a few others entice the Diamondbacks to pull the trigger on this type of deal? Does again, I don't want to necessarily move Clark Schmidt or Garcia, but does a starting pitcher like that, along with a Voit, entice them to trade arguably their best starting pitcher now, and by far likely their best relief pitcher when he's really on, to the Yankees? I think it could make a lot of sense for both clubs. I think Voit, you can argue, as much as I like him myself, you can argue that he kind of doesn't fit what the Yankees need to do next year. They need to get more contact in that lineup. So that's a possibility. Let's say, for the hell of it, Voit and two minor league prospects, maybe Voit, Green, and somebody else, or Voit, Albert Abreu, and let's say Clint Frazier, I don't know, or something along those lines. I don't think you give both of those guys, but let's just go ahead and say Contreras, Voit, and Abreu. is the deal the Yankees make, or Loaizaga. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, let's say that's how they make that move. The next one I want to get to, I think makes sense because I think the Yankees should look at a middle infielder who doesn't strike out. Here's an option. Would you all do this trade if the Cardinals would do this trade? Again, this is just opinion and ideas, folks. Would you do a Domingo Germán for a Kolten Wong of St. Louis? I think that can make a ton of sense for the New York Yankees. Then your infield would be Urshela at third base. Shortstop will be Gleyber Torres. Second baseman will be Kolten Wong. First base would be Didi LeMahieu. The reason why I go with a Domingo Germán and him, that kind of really makes sense. You're getting a legit starting pitcher for a legit middle infielder who's potentially an all-star. Doesn't strike out a lot, puts the ball in play. Looks like he's really entering his real potential here. So is that a move the Cardinals make? I don't know. Here's another one for you. Potentially another team the Yankees have made trades with before in the past. Adam Frazier of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, he shouldn't cost a Domingo Germán, but maybe an Albert Abreu and two others, or an Albert Abreu and another guy for him. Maybe a Clint Frazier for Frazier swap. The Yankees really don't have the value, it seems like, in Frazier right now, so you got to move him at some point. But I don't want to just give him away. I do think Frazier on Pittsburgh actually makes a lot of sense. Another lefty bat, puts the ball in play. You know, right field is pretty good in Pittsburgh for a left-handed hitter. Yankee Stadium, of course, is also. But I do think the Yankees continue to need the guys that put the ball in play to go along with their sluggers. Look, they invested in Giancarlo Stanton. I don't see him going anywhere. So that, to me, makes a lot of sense. So the ones I went over so far, you get James McCann, you get Ray, you get Bradley, and you get either Kolten Wong or Frazier to man second base. So then you have kind of your infield set up. Now, free agents. Garrett Cole, to me, you write this guy a blank check. Hell, you give him part ownership of the club. No, but you look to get this guy no matter what you got, no matter what you want to do. You do all you can to get Garrett Cole in this club. There's been rumors out there, of course, that he loves the Yankees, always wanted to play for the Yankees, but there's also rumors out that he likes the West Coast. So San Diego probably can afford him, no doubt about it. As they said last year with Machado, they could afford another big contract. So I could see them saying, you know, hey, here's $30 million a year. Come here. We're building this club. Look how good we were this year compared to the year before. We added. We showed we'll add. We're going to add some more. We want to be one of the best teams in baseball. They're not far off from doing that. So that could make a lot of sense for them and could make sense for Cole looking to get to a team who year after year kind of could be the Astros of the National League, to be honest. They could really develop a core, add some big names, and go from there. And then you also got, I think, the Angels now getting Joe Madden. Maybe they look to make a splash to add, to get some more excitement around that club. But I think the Yankees can definitely entice him. He's been a Yankee fan his whole life. We know that. We know the Yankees have got him, tried to go after him 2 different times. Now it's going to be, when I say 2 different times, they drafted him. He went to UCLA. And then they obviously tried to trade for him and wouldn't give up Chance Adams and Clint Frazier together to get him. But let's not talk about the past. Third time, maybe he's a charm, and you go from there. With that being said, I think you also do whatever you can to move J. Happ, get rid of him, figure out a way you do it. I don't know how to break that down in here. But looking at what I was saying, and this is, again, ideas, just throwing out there, having fun early on until I actually get my legit, real deal information when the World Series ends that I could put out there for you guys. But I think if you can have a rotation, Cole, Severino, Paxton, Tanaka, Ray, I don't think any Yankee fan will be mad about that. And then you look at an infield and a DH, Miguel Andujar. I think you also swap him out and in at third base. You figure out something with him. But I think you need Miguel Andujar's bat. So anybody looking to trade Andujar now, I don't think you do it. Look, Andujar puts the ball in play. He puts the ball in play, and the Yankees need that. He hits the ball well to right field. He hits the ball all over. He's a spray hitter. He hits the ball everywhere. You need that. You need more of that. The Yankees miss that. Giovanni Urshela definitely deserves a look at third base. Shortstop then will be Gleyber Torres. Second baseman, either Frazier or Kolten Wong, 2 lefties. So you get another left-handed hitter back in that lineup. And first base, you got Didi LeMahieu. Look, a lot of people saying, oh my God, why would you want LeMahieu at first base? He did it all postseason. He looked terrific. Look at all the scoops he made. Does Luke Voit make those plays? No, not all of those. So I like DJ LeMahieu at first base. I remember when they signed him, I said, well, maybe they put him at first. If you guys remember last year when they signed him, I said, I like the deal, but maybe they put him at first base because he's 6'4". You know, a lot of people didn't know much about this guy. He's a big frame guy, so he makes sense as a first baseman and you know, smooth hands. So I think that could make a lot of sense for the Yankees. Then, of course, your outfield, Stanton, Hicks, and your right fielder would be Aaron Judge. On the bench, you could have Gardner, Wade, McCann, and whoever the hell else you want there. Could make sense. Probably a backup first baseman of some sort. Maybe a guy who could play more of the infield and also first base. Not like a Wade who could play third, second, and short in some of the outfield. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I can see Wade also being a ticket for a lot of guys that try to entice the Yankees in trade also. Because I do think we see Wade continuing to develop into his own. And, you know, the pen, you work out the pen from there, guys. But those are just a couple of my ideas before. I think the Yankees truly need to put their money into a starting pitcher, whether it's Cole, Strasburg, Madison Bumgarner. You got all the opportunities to make big trades. A lot of people also talked about Francisco Lindor, so I don't want to leave that one out. That would be a major, major deal, and I think will cost the Yankees a lot. Doesn't mean I wouldn't do it, but you're talking about I don't know, you got to start somewhere really big, so however you see that deal, if you think it's worth it, you do it. I think Lindor would be worth it, no doubt about it. I think he would fit the Yankees lineup and mentality and way they play really well. So it's going to be an interesting offseason again, guys. This is just my ideas, quick reaction after what I think they can do very, very early on. It's a day after the Yankees lost when this video is recorded. So much changes this time of year. Players who we didn't think would be available could become available. Pitchers we didn't think could become available could become available. Corey Kluber could be out there also as another name. As I just think about things, so much still goes through. It's so early. But I know you guys love this stuff. I'm here to provide this. I'm here to provide discussion. It's what I do. So you guys let me know what you think about some of the deals I mentioned in the comments below. I will chit-chat back and forth with you all. And of course, remember, after the World Series, I do get my Yankee notes from their meetings and what they've talked about and what the Yankees could potentially look into doing and what their main focuses are going to be. Last year, I got a lot of that stuff right on, spot on for what the Yankees were looking to do. And, you know, it's been fun. It's always fun doing this and being there with you all. But the offseason will be here very quick, folks. World Series starts, I believe, on Tuesday. And we'll see what happens there. Hopefully the Nationals win it. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you have not. This is the type of content you are going to be getting all offseason long. Opinions, real legit Yankee information, and rumors. Real legit rumors. This is going on 3 years now. You can count on the fingers the times I've been wrong when it comes to things I've reported. So, folks, it is what it is. Let's have fun. We'll have our chats. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're enjoying a new style of videos. And subscribe if you have not. Put your notifications on so you never miss a Simonetti Source video. You guys are the best. Talk to you again very, very soon. Let's do it.
I feel like I'm jigger in the 90s. Jigger in the 90s.
Yankee fitted, chain bling, denim jeans, diamond ring, hustler status, A-OK, Sicilian rustic, name your way, boss status, 9-figure blueprint, like Jigger, fast life, bottle liquor, our time, cow hitters. You know they say that